Hi guys, good morning. My name is Dan. Thank you for thank you for calling. Thank you for tuning in to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning back, welcome back. And for those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. I greatly appreciate them. If you're interested in supporting the channel, there's many different ways you can do so. Some of the simplest is hitting that thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video, subscribing to the channel, hitting the notification bell so you get notified when I go live, checking out the drop-down menu underneath any of the daily videos for some house rules, where my social medias are, PayPal for booking private readings, all of that sort of stuff, finding my Facebook business page, all of that is included in the daily drop-down menu. So check that out, especially if you're new to me. This is a broad spectrum reading for all signs. It's originally intended and created for Saturday, the 31st of July, the end of July, but it is not solely set for that date. If you're seeing it on a different date, that's fine. It may be more about the message than the date it was originally created for, so keep an open mind in regards to that. What else was I going to say? If it doesn't make sense or it doesn't fit, right, whatever I'm saying, that's okay. It doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. Nothing's broken. You might just be working on something different at this time. So kind of, it's sort of like a take what you need, leave the rest reading, you know. If it does fit, you know, I speak in broad terms. I always say this just to make sense, you know, so people can understand what I do for and why I do it. I speak in broad terms so I can reach as many people as possible. You have to figure out if what I'm saying, where it fits in your life, okay? So that's your part in all of this. All right, so let's get into this and see as we end out this July. Oh, why is my stomach giving me pain? What the hell is going on? Okay. Oh, cool. I'll take it. All right, we have Mugwort, the High Priestess, card number 2. We're ending on a major arcana, guys, which I feel like this was a real crazy sort of month where it was a lot of major arcana, a lot of court cards throughout the whole month, which was cool. I like that we're ending with this High Priestess. She's the second card of the deck. She is that sort of secret spiritual self. Hopefully we've learned something. Maybe we've gained a few secrets, probably about ourselves over the course of this month, and maybe the changes and transformations that have come about for us. Hopefully we're feeling a little bit more keyed in, connected. It may not be in the most obvious of ways, but if we search sort of like deep within our emotions, deep within our sort of intuitions, that sort of a thing, we may find that we're actually a little bit more aware, more self-assured, more connected than we maybe originally realized. Remember, we have that 5 of Pentacles underneath here. And that 5 of Pentacles, whether you guys are experiencing that or not, that could be like some sort of a disruption going on around you. To me, the High Priestess is sort of a empowered withdrawal, if that makes any sense, right? She's a strong card. She's self-aware. She's very spiritually connected, but she's not necessarily trying to prove that to anybody. She's not necessarily trying to convince anybody of what she knows. You know, she keeps her sort of secrets to herself. Her wisdom is hers and hers alone. And it's powerful wisdom, right? And I think that in some ways this can represent sort of like just our own personal life experiences and what we've been through, and sort of how that creates our perspective and who we are and how we relate to the world. And we can then take that and be either empowered by it, or we can be sort of maybe disempowered by it. That could be some of that 5 of Pentacles energy. We get an option when like things come up in our life, right? As to the setbacks that the 5 of Pentacles could represent for us, the challenges we may be dealing with. I always say 5s are transitory, right? So that 5 of Pentacles is transitory in the sense that it's momentary. It may be something we've dealt with before or that we've dealt with repeatedly. But whatever it might be that could be potentially challenging us, we have the power, certainly within this High Priestess card, to it's like the calm within the storm is kind of the picture that I'm getting in my mind's eye, right? We can be that calm in the storm. We don't have to allow sort of outside influences or things to kind of rock us today. The High Priestess has that sort of awareness, that understanding, that intelligence to her, that she doesn't necessarily buy into, you know, maybe others and their drama, or just, you know, I don't know. I just feel like there's something about also this card being so blue and cool colored to me, which I love. You know, the blue aspect gives it this calm, cool vibe to it. That we're not going to get worked up. We're not going to get agitated, ideally. We're going to sort of stay in our own lane, stay in our own wisdom, connect to self over others, not buy into, you know, the drama of others. There could be a sort of allure or mystery that we hold today or keep around ourselves today so that we can't be found, right? So that we aren't necessarily being put on display. Does that make sense? Right? We're not like putting ourselves in the center of things. We're sort of maybe quietly watching from the sidelines. But in our observations, we gain that sort of wisdom that the High Priestess has. So pay attention to that and acknowledge your own sort of intelligence, your own wisdom, your own secrets, your own awareness, and utilize that to be powerful, right? Or in our own sort of, you know, personal power. You know, we're not trying to gain power over anybody else. That's not her point, right? She's more, you know, calmly, like, chill is the best way to put it. And she's not too worried about it. So we have the Spring Fairies. This is card number 20, which would boil down numerologically to a 2. That could be our relationship to others or our relationship to self today. Spring Fairies, a time to rest a time of rest and soul searching is over. Plant your seeds for your next step. Again, these planting of seeds for the next step. Spring is that sort of burst forward of getting excited, being happy, you know, maybe again, like planting these seeds or making plans for something. The High Priestess may have that sort of intuition, awareness, or wisdom within ourselves that we need to listen to today. Right? It may not always kind of come so clearly, or we might have to listen a little bit more closely. But what sort of seeds are we planting, or where do we want to go? What do we want to do? How do we want to get there? We need to start listening to that sort of voice of wisdom that is within us. That would be this High Priestess. She would give us those sort of, you know, I would say more of a spiritual secret or an awareness from a spiritual place that is deep within us as to what we want. And we should be excited by that. That's the Spring Fairies, right? With the coming of spring, it's like the rebirth, the renewal, the excitement of life coming, you know, sort of back onto the planet. So that's sort of what they would represent to me. The 2 or the number 20 boiling down to a 2 could be our interaction with our environment, with our opportunities, anything where we could find coupling, right? Or coming together and joining others or learning from others or learning more about ourselves. All of that would be beneficial today and should be, you know, with the Spring Fairies, to me, it feels like it should be not only enlightening and educational, right? Because we've got that High Priestess there, sort of with her own set of wisdom, but probably also learning too. But it's very connected. You know, she's connected in a different way, in a much more spiritual, sort of maybe even soul related way. And so all of that should be exciting. It should be like a new doors opening or a new chapter's beginning. You know, maybe it's the new chapter of the second half of Leo season and the beginning of Virgo, right? We're going into August. So exciting times could be ahead for us. How do we want to plant those seeds? How do we want to prepare for that excitement? And I think that the preparation with the High Priestess being here, you know, being major arcana, and her role, the preparation is important. The preparation is, like, what do I want to say? Not to be trivialized or negated, right? So I think that's the message today. Let's look at the grounding stone. I also like that we're ending on her, and the grounding stone for the week was that remember. And I said at the very beginning of the week, it's like not only like thinking of our past and stuff and maybe visiting those things, but not dwelling in them, but also sort of remembering maybe who we are. The High Priestess could be bringing us some of that knowledge too. Who we are, you know, through what we want, through what we desire and what we deserve. Getting comfortable with those sort of feelings, those awarenesses, and I don't know, living from that place. Here we go. There's your grounding stone for the day. It is desire. Desire, I associate more so with the heart or the spirit than anything else. This is a more deep sort of motivating need. It's more, I would say it's more motivating than just plain old need. Desire to me is something that sort of we are passionate about, that it doesn't have to necessarily just be sort of sexual, right? Desire gets thrown around a lot with just sort of sex and all of that, but we can be passionate about, careers or purposes in life or causes. We can be passionate about, our dreams, our goals, how we want to feel, right? On a sort of in a day-to-day space. Today would be the day to take our wisdom, our knowledge, our sort of connection to even our higher self, and begin to utilize that to maybe inform our desire, or maybe from that depth of wisdom and knowledge that we're accessing, or we could access today, we get to touch in with that desire. We get to ground into that desire, that spiritual sort of calling within us. And then the spring fairies, to me, set about with the sort of excitement of that energy of, again, like what we were talking about yesterday with that stone hope. The spring fairies sort of represent the opportunity to sort of set that plan into motion, to begin to plant the seeds for moving ourselves towards there. The high priestess will definitely have the wisdom to get us there. She'll have the patience and the sort of the right attitude to work with her skill set and the environment in a cool, sort of calm, collected way to move us towards this desire. We just need to trust it and believe that it's out there for us and that we deserve it. That is your forecast. Please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. We'll have a new deck and a new week and a new month. So we'll see you then. All right, take care and have a wonderful day. Should be beautiful. Bye-bye.